Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Got a question for you. Just a simple question. Why doesn't Bob Arum take Shakur, Keyshawn right now, he's all messed up, out just pulling on that devil's lettuce. Jared Anderson. Why isn't he taking some of his other fighters out there to fight, big name fighters to fight in Saudi Arabia? Why isn't he out there working 2, 3, 4 fight deals with these guys to go fight in Saudi Arabia? For these guys to go out there and make the 30, 40, 50 million dollars. Take them out there because, see, the thing about going and fighting in Saudi Arabia, you don't need to necessarily have a huge profile. Tyson Fury does have a huge profile, and we get it with his position in boxing at the top of the heavyweight division. I understand. I get it. All right? So there's no argument there. I don't need anyone coming into the comments saying, "Screw you, Hood Champion. You don't know anything about boxing." Listen, my man, I'm just having a conversation. Now, when you look at Tyson Fury and what Tyson Fury is doing for himself, and for Bob Arum, and for Frank Warren, and for the WBC, right? Listen. Why wouldn't Bob, at least, I don't know what kind of conversations have happened with the Saudis. We know for the most part, they're kind of dictating the direction they want things to go, right? Like, that's a fact. But I can't see them not be willing to collaborate, especially if the collaboration can be something very positive, not only for future boxing events in Saudi, but just overall for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I personally think when you have a talent like Shakur Stevenson, silver medalist, what some would say right now, pound for pound, is the best fighter in the sport who just hasn't had his opportunity, right? But he turned down a little deal against Devin Haney, which I think was dumb, but I think it was dumb. I understand the money and the purse, but the opportunity. It's the opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? Springboard to where you want to be. And to me, he took it to the stupid and missed a great opportunity. But that being said, when you have a talent like that, why wouldn't you try to get him on an undercard out there in Saudi against another, decent fighter? Because you know that the money's going to be there. So to me, when I look at this, my question is, why only Tyson Fury? And I think that's what we need to discuss to try to understand. Bob Arum has a pretty healthy stable of fighters, right? But when it comes to Saudi Arabia, when it comes to the Middle East and Africa, right? Because Africa's the next move. I'm telling y'all talking about the Hood Champion, you're just making stuff up. Yo, man, no, I'm not. Go and read. I don't need the McNicholases jumping in here challenging me. I'm telling you, when I'm giving a conversation and I'm just talking, I'll tell you, what I'm giving you guys are facts right now, man. Right? The Saudis are planning to infiltrate Africa. And the PFL, that's one of the vessels they're going to use to make their way over there into Africa, along with boxing. And Ngannou has a whole lot to do with the move over into Africa, especially with the PFL. But there's a lot of pieces, a lot of moving pieces right now. And, Bob Arum is a key figure in all this. Frank Warren is a key figure in all this. Tyson Fury is a key figure in all this. Ngannou is a key figure in all this. But what I can't, my thing is, you're trying to tell me there's no room for Shakur? I mean, even Keyshawn Davis, he'll get over his little, they smoke out there. It'd be puffing, trust me, man. I had to train some of them guys. I lived in Saudi for a while, right? I already told y'all that. But then I've had to train Saudi pilots, and I had to train some Egyptian officers. I didn't train them on flying. I trained them on the project management piece that I was responsible for when it came to aircraft. So all those guys who came down, they used to get sent to me for me to train them. because of my name. You know what I'm saying? And these narrow-minded assholes who are in leadership positions, they just figure because of my name that the Saudis and the Egyptian officers and the guys who come from these, anyone who come from an Islamic background or whatever, man, they just figure that, oh, that should be a good fit with me, just because of the names, not understanding that me and them cats may have nothing in common. What does my name matter? You know, stupid. You know, it's like saying just because you're a white guy with a white guy, they're gonna have a bunch in common and they should get along. You know, that's not how that works. But it just so happened that, you know, those guys and I, because of, you know, the way I move, you know, and my mentality and the way they move and their mentality, we got along. You know what I'm saying? But there were some cultural consistencies, but there were also some cultural inconsistencies. And one thing I'll tell you about, every single guy who came over there from Egypt for me to train, and every single guy who came from Saudi for me to train, you know what they used to ask me to get them? They would say, listen, my name is not Muhammad, but just say my name was Muhammad, right? And they'd be like, Muhammad, you reefer. And I'm like, reefer? I'm like, what the hell is that? They're like, you smoky reefer. I'm like, oh, y'all want weed. So I'm like, damn, these guys out here trying to pull on the ganja, on the devil's lettuce, puff the magic dragon, right? So I'm like, look, man, you know, we can't mess with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get in a lot of trouble. But it just so happens that, you know, I knew people, you know, and I was like, hey, you know, we go out to clubs and stuff, you know, I knew guys out there like, hey, you know, I'll mess with it. But, you know, it's on y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I'd make sure that they were in the right vicinity with people who I knew who were cool, and that if they wanted to go do that, that was on them. But I was like, yo, I ain't really getting involved with that. But to think that Keyshawn Davis all of a sudden now wouldn't be a good idea to bring to Saudi because he's suspended for, you know, he's banned from boxing for a few days for smoking weed. I just don't think that they would frown upon him entering the country, seeing that he got a little slap on the wrist from boxing. No one cares. It's not like he's gone to jail or something. Excuse me. But that being said, I have my own idea on why everything is focused solely around Tyson Fury. I really do. And I do think the secret society has a whole lot to do with it. You know, I'm not here to make jokes. I'm having a serious conversation. Like, when you take a look at it, why? And then when you look at, you know, Anthony Joshua being able to get out there to Saudi, you know, it ain't no secret. The guys who are having a lot of opportunities in Saudi Arabia are guys who've had, you know, connections to, you know, certain individuals, man. Nobody else is getting these opportunities. I think that those opportunities are going to present themselves to other fighters. Matter of fact, I think conversations are taking place right now. I'm going to tell you this. Don't be surprised if you see Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao fighting Saudi. I'm just telling you right now. Don't be surprised if that happens next year. Okay? There's talks underway right now. As far as the location, I don't know, but there's a whole lot of going on right now with Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao. See, people don't know that. That's a fact, what I'm telling you. So we just have to wait and see how it plays out. But that's just my question, man. You know, like sometimes, you know, when you start talking these conversations about the secret society, about certain decisions being made, that's like having a father, like me being a father, right? I have 4 sons. I don't have a favorite. This morning, my son and I was taking him to school, right? That's my 13-year-old. He was like, hey, Dad, why didn't you come to my last football game? And I said, well, I have 4 of you. Your mother went to the game, and I took your 6-year-old brother. I took him to train because I trained him in basketball, right? I said, so I take him to train twice a week. And I was like, you know, sometimes we can't be at everything. But he's a little agitated because I've never missed any of his sports since he's been born. Nothing. I normally take him, do everything. Everything. I never missed anything. Nothing. But he's 13 now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, these are just your games at school. You know, I come to them, but the problem is when we come out there, right? I went out there like 3 weeks ago, right? We were at a game and a kid got injured on the field. So that delayed the game like an hour. So I'm out there with my 6-year-old. My other 2 sons are at home because they're old enough to stay home and chill. And my 6-year-old, we're out there from like 5:30. Next thing you know, they called the game at like 8. Like the whole thing was just screwed up. And my 6-year-old's tired, so he's falling asleep on the way home. You know, he had a little snack out there, but I didn't give him a chance to give him a shower, to feed him. You know, he had like fruit and little goldfish because I fed him before we went out there like 4:30. But damn, to get home at 8 and didn't get a chance to, feed my boy, shower my boy up, that shit drove me crazy. Like, it drove me crazy. And I'm like, never again. So I was explaining to my son, like, man, I can't that will never happen again. And I was like, because I don't control the game. So even if I come out there, I was like, once it gets past, like, once we get around 6:30, I'm out. Normally his game's in at 6:30, and that's perfect. 6:30, boom, home at 7, feed the little man, get them all cleaned up. 8:30, everybody in bed sleeping. Oh, I can't be leaving no damn game at 8. So I said all that to say this: you can't have favorites, and sometimes you have to have a conversation. And with Bob Arum, I think it's almost like he's in a similar situation, but the perception to me is he's playing favorites. But why? Why Tyson Fury? Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think it's because of a certain individual Tyson Fury has, relations with. A certain individual Bob Arum has relations with. And unfortunately for everyone else, they don't have that commitment to that individual, for that individual to really want to sponsor them and to make sure that the people that he knows, who's the face of everything, that, that they get involved with those guys. You know what I'm saying? So more to come on this whole thing, but I just think it's a fair question. If Tyson Fury is going to have huge events in Saudi Arabia, right? Remember, he already said, look, another 10 fights. That's what he said. I think it could go 10 years. Tyson Fury is out here laughing all the way to the bank. He's out here laughing about the amount of money he's making. He's out here saying right now he's going to finish his career in Saudi. Everything he's going to do is going to be in Saudi Arabia. People, why? Why? That's my question. And let's say everything is on the up and up. Everything's legit, right? There's no kind of violations. There's nothing, no foul play, right? Let's say there's no foul play. Okay, because that's what I want to believe. If there's no foul play, then with Bob Arum having Tyson Fury, who's a top-ranked fighter, although he brought Frank Warren with him over to the States with Top Rank. Y'all don't find that odd too? Right? But if everything is straight, then I think Bob Arum should have some of his fighters, especially a guy like Shakur, Jared Anderson, Keyshawn Davis, fighting in Saudi Arabia. That's all I'm saying. Let them go out there and make the money too. Right? Because Bob Arum went on record and he said, look, we control most of the money in boxing. That's what Bob Arum said. I did a video about that. What made the old rooster puff up his chest and start crowing, big time crowing, about how much money they got and they control and how they run boxing? If that's not some secret society talk, I don't know what is. But that being said, we're going to see how things play out, man. But hey, I'm on the case. And I truly believe there's so much more to what's going on. But remember, next year, that's when they have that trial starting. And I think it's just like right now. I don't know if y'all know anything about hip-hop, but the whole thing with Tupac and his murder and this Keefe D guy, and Keefe D, and now Puff Daddy's out here, trembling in his boots because Keefe D and Puff Daddy had a relationship, and it's the rumors are circulating that Puff Daddy may have had something to do with Keefe D and his little crew whacking Tupac. So my thing is when a trial begins, you just don't know what comes out. Same thing we're talking about this Keefe D, Puff Daddy, Tupac, whatever. Same thing when that Kinahan trial pop off next year. And Bob Arum been subpoenaed to testify. You just don't know when people start talking. Next thing you know, somebody may say, oh, Bob Arum had something to do with something, and next thing you know, somebody get nervous, and then now all of a sudden, Tyson Fury name gets mentioned, and then he start getting other people, man, who have integral roles in different fights that were made, or in integral roles as far as advancing boxing, and now all of a sudden their name is in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. I can't wait to see what happens. By this time next year, we should have a whole lot of answers. Y'all think it's a joke? Look at what's going on with that guy, man. Not Jeff Bezos. That guy with that fool, man. The guy who got bought up all the farmland, man. The billionaire guy, man. Bill Gates. This man out here sweating bullets because of this Epstein trial and the fact that they have proof, supposedly, that Bill Gates was out there pitching woo with underage girls too. So he out here sweating. He may go out there, man, and build him his own little community on all that farmland to try to hide and shit, but get off grid. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents. Why doesn't Bob Arum take Shakur and other fighters that fight in Saudi Arabia, especially on the undercard of Tyson Fury? That's all I'm asking. Why is it solely about Tyson Fury? In the breeze.